How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my series with my lovely boyfriend, Mwah,
Hello.
where I show him Marvel Rivals character designs for him to analyze from an artistic perspective. Now, he's a comic artist, he's an art teacher, he's got a lot of insight, and I've learned a lot since we started this series a year ago. And we've done a bunch of special episodes and side things over the last few months, but now it's back to the main event. We are going from Rocket Raccoon to Rogue.
Rogue!
Now, as you recall, Daredevil's design was contentious. So immediately after Daredevil, they released Gambit and Rogue, who are like one-to-one comic designs.
Yeah. That's really fun.
And it's still got the Marvel Rivals detailing flair, but yeah, this is just Rogue.
Yeah, the posing is pretty fun though, because like they really show her as kind of like a brawler type, like her like hips really tilted, and she's like, it's pretty fun. Give her a lot of they give her a lot of white hair too. It's not just like a small band or like stuff. It's like the whole front of her hair is white. She has like some hair physics problem on the back. I saw that. It was like doing that womp 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 womp.
It's twitching.
It's alive, alive. It does seem some problem with that jacket because even in her idol there, it pops sometimes.
Yeah.
Gotta put the smoothing. Let it clip. It's fine. But yeah, this is also like a lot of warmth because the brown is really warm.
Yeah, it's a very orange brown, isn't it?
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, it's kind of been a while since we've had such a rich, warm brown. We had a lot of neutral browns or cold browns, you know? I feel like it's been a little while. And then we have, like, the yellow, and the yellow is, like, got, like, a little hint of orange in it. Not a lot, but just, like, enough to, like, kind of tone it down from neon. So it's just, like, this very bright, sunflowery yellow. And then we have a cold green. Very like minty, cool color. A lot more blue in it. Looks really nice. Also, like kind of like the switch around too. We got like the yellow stripe in the middle, and then it's like switched out to the like these like thigh patches on the opposite sides. It's very, very fun. Those are kind of funny too, because we do kind of have like the classic like superhero spandex thing, but then she's got like this like bomber jacket, or not a bomber jacket, but like this big like old-fashioned jacket.
It's the trunks cut because it goes down to just below the rib cage instead of down to normal jacket length.
Right, it's like little like overclothing, and the big brown boots.
Oh, I zoomed in right as you were about to say big brown boots. There we go.
Which are, you know, like, and they're, like, tied on the sides, too, which is kind of a neat detail. You know, not tying the laces in the front, but, like, almost like they're, like, laced up, and then, like, I kind of like them on the sides, too. It makes it feel like they're, like, wrapped tight around to, like, you know, stay, like, closed shut. Feels very, like, fighter, military, something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
And they oversized the belt, and they doubled up the belt, so, like, there's two loops instead of one.
We've got a wannabe Nomura.
Because I'm trying to figure out how the second loop works, but I think what is happening is there's one smaller belt, which you can't see the buckle of, with all the silver pieces on it, and then a bigger belt with less silver pieces.
Yeah, I think the one that goes under on the back is the one that connects to the one that goes over on the front, and the one that goes under on the front is just a loop. You're right.
Mm-hmm. But it's a nice way to give like some extra bulk and stuff going on. I just like kind of like the variety of like the stuff and the way it's on her, because like you got like these kind of catty corner belts, and the way that the suit is cut out creates these a lot of complex shapes. So it makes it feel like stuff is kind of interesting stuff is going on. There's also like these little silver rivets just here and there for like detail, like on the thighs and on the belt. The collar has it too.
Yeah, what's up with the thigh rivets? What are those for? Does she have thigh piercings that go through the clothes?
It's for our safety, not hers. She'd crush head between thighs like sparrow's egg.
She could. And I know a lot of people who'd let her do it to them.
But it is kind of a little detail that kind of brings a lot of the suit together because it's used in a lot of places. Like it's on the jacket, it's on the collar, it's on the boots. And they're not big enough to be like an attention-grabbing detail on their own, but they are really nice as a way to like tie the suit together. Because like, besides like the spandex thing, like you kind of have like these big bulky items with lots of texture and weight to them, but they're really far apart. So we'll just put like little teeny rivets to kind of like tie everything. Like it's all part of the same outfit and not like she bought a different pair of boots that went to a different outfit,
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, they did the X-Men logo on the side of and back of her jacket. With some red, it's a nice pop. It works because it's also a pretty warm color, so it's not like... It's really high contrast, but it's also not like to the point where it's really, like out there, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
She also has like a lot of extra belts on the end of the jacket too, the way it's wrapped around. I think more so on one side than the other.
This jacket, by the way, cannot have been designed to close on a woman's chest. Like, not a chance in hell.
Definitely not hers.
Yeah.
And this is one where I think they're using like part of the jacket to be like another form that goes around like where the rib cage would go, because it kind of cuts in the same way, and the little tassels they let like kind of hang off and like wrap around in a rib-like way. So it's just kind of like a way to like add some bulk and give like a big shape form to the top half of her body, but not like lose all the physique, because it's definitely, when you put somebody in spandex, it's about the physique.
Yep.
Oh, she has rings too.
Yeah, let's try to get a better look at her hands.
Are they just there to hold on the gloves?
Oh, you know what it is? She's got like the glove thing on her middle finger, but the ring she's got on her left hand is her wedding ring, because the season she and Gambit debuted was their wedding.
Ah,
that's a nice touch. I like that.
But yes, I love her. She is good. There's also kind of like some grays in here that are a lot warmer than you think. Because like the ones on the belt are very cold, but I was just looking at the laces and I thought, that's a pretty warm gray.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I think on the tips of her hair too, it like kind of grayed it out a little bit. And like the white that they've used is in the cold spectrum too. So I think what they're doing is kind of like if they putting like something on like a warm ground, they kind of want to fade out a little bit, like especially the legs, because they tend to really mute the colors in some way on the legs. You know, like they let the contrast go out or the value or whatever they need to do. So I think they're using a lot of the warm brown or warm gray on the brown, so they can kind of let the feet fade out. Versus like up on the top where it's on the belt and stuff, it's a lot colder. Because I would be pretty confident that the gray on the laces is not the same gray used on the belt.
I agree, for whatever my opinion is worth.
Yeah, I like the also that they're kind of messing around with like big lines versus skinny, because like the belt is like a thick line, but it's like there's belts on the boots and her jacket too, and they're thicker, like the one that goes over her ankle, versus like the really small thin lines with like the gray. So there's kind of nice play and scale between different objects on their outfit. But I just really like the look of it. The jacket is just, I love the form of the jacket with the pointy shoulders and the bulk of it. Makes it really, really fun. Especially when you think about, like, she does have really thick thighs that save lives. So, adding the bulk to the top half of her body, which is, like, not supposed to be, like, super muscly bulky because, she's cute and pretty. And that's just the rules sometimes. Because it's kind of funny. She does, like, usually, like, she is a very physical fighter because she has to touch people. She has to, like, punch them and stuff. So it is funny that they didn't make the top of her bulky. But they just use the jacket to imply it rather than actually give her muscle.
Here's a fun fact about her powers. So, or at least something connected to her powers. So the reason Rogue can fly and has flying brick powers, a power set in the comics, is because when she met Miss Marvel, the original Miss Marvel for the first time, who goes by Captain Marvel these days, she drained her for longer than normal until she went into a coma and permanently acquired the powers. When they met up again years later, the first thing Captain Marvel did was punch her so hard she flew into the moon.
But yeah, I watched this character probably like 20, yeah, no, that's probably about right. 20 years ago. So anything more current than that, I have no clue what she's been up to. But I was obsessed with, like, the inner dynamics of, like, the X-Men on the animated show and, like, how they got along. And
she's apparently a major part of the new cartoon.
Yeah.
X-Men 97.
Didn't know there was a new one.
Yeah. It's apparently really good. She's voiced by the same person who voiced her in X-Men 97 and the 90s X-Men cartoon.
That's fun. All I can think of is da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. It didn't even have words. It didn't even have words. It was just this da-da-da-da-da, and you're like rushing into the other room hearing that on TV, and you're like, ha! It's on!
Come back and eat your breakfast. No, Dad. X-Men's on.
Oh yeah, I used to watch so many cartoons in the morning because I had to get up very early, so my parents went to work, and then I was up, so I watched so much stuff. And this was one of them. I think it was more of a Saturday morning thing, but at the time, because that was a whole deal, but they did reruns and stuff. I remember it being really fun.
Yeah. I only got to... We didn't get much reception or any real channels at my place, so when we went to stay at my mom's boyfriend's place every weekend, we would get Saturday morning cartoons on his much better reception. And I watched a lot of Digimon.
Yeah. Digimon was just at the wrong time that I couldn't watch it after school.
Aw.
So I was just, unless I booked it, I would miss it. So I was like, I can't. It's not worth it.
All right, we're digressing. Anything else to say about Rogue Space design?
I don't believe so. It's awesome. It's solid. It's stylized enough that it plays around with the design in a fun way, but not so much that we lose her identity. Like this is pretty standard and also like pushed a little farther.
Yeah. All right, well, how about her default recolor, which I think is much worse.
What did they do? I'm trying to figure out what it even is. And usually I like a stark red, black and white design, but
it's blood red too.
Yeah. And then yellow for the X-Men. Huh. There's something about the colors here that are a little harsh, even though the colors themselves are harsh. Like I could go for like a gothic like Rogue, right? But
oh wait, yeah, the X-Men Evolution design is one that people have been requesting for a while.
But
where she was a goth.
Like we have a very cold gray, but then they kept the warm gray on the laces. And some of the belts on the boots for some reason, which aren't reflected in the jacket, because the jacket has like the same kind of belting.
Aren't those laces now dark brown?
Yeah, they're like a warm gray, which if you put warm gray on a cold gray, it's going to look pretty brownish.
Ah, I gotcha.
But if you buy like a marker set or like a colored pencil set that says warm grays, your warm grays kind of end up looking like that quite a lot. And warm gray on the belt... And I'm not sure really that the play in warm and cold is really necessary. Like, I'm not sure why not just put red laces on. You know?
I think I know what bothers me the most about this costume. The white is off-white. It's kind of creamy.
Yeah, and like most of the time the whites are, but when you compare it to her hair, which is still the cold white, which actually is another kind of interesting choice because they changed her hair color to be more red. It's like a, like more ruddy. But they didn't change the color temperature of the white part of her hair. And then they made the suit a warm white and the hair is cold white, which is now making you think that the white looks like cream. Because if you put those two whites together, then it's like, yeah, it's either her suit is cream or her hair is blue. It's one or the other, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's just they should have had a little bit better control of color temperatures in this one. So it's not that I think that the red and white and the dark gray are not the right color choices. I think those actually are pretty nice for a recolor, but the temperatures aren't very good. They're not correct, I would say. I think the only temperature change I do kind of like is I like the warm gray on her hands with like the cold gray on the jacket. Like I think that looks pretty cool. But I think that's the only place where it works really well. I think a darker belt would have been better. I don't know if that's just me, but just like, make the belt the leather, like let the leather, if you're gonna have it be a leather black jacket, like let black have some more strength in this design.
Yeah, I agree.
Do that, and then keep the boots the way they are, but get all the warm grays off of that. Make it red,
Yeah.
or just all black. Like why not, right? Because there's already so much, like red, and like in her hair is much redder too. Like bring more attention to her face because she already has green eyes, so we're already going to kind of be coming up that way anyway because it's so much of a it's a complementary color to red anyway, so we're gonna get there on our own, we promise.
Yep.
But yeah, I think the one that bothers me the most though is the temperature with the hair and the bodysuit though. Like, because you usually want to put a little bit of a temperature on white anyway, but usually, at least when I'm drawing a character, it's done by lighting, like if they're in a warm light, then I give them a warm white hair. If they're in a cold light, I give them a cold white hair, right? So in this one case where the skins are kind of neutrally lit, they're not usually typically lit with a color at all, a white light. Mm-hmm. This is one where it's like, okay, obviously the blue hair looked good with the green suit and yellow because there's a lot of blues in it already. And there's no other neutrals to contrast that. Where in this one, because the suit is very warm white, like extremely so, it makes the hair look really weird. And that's like, they could have made it pinkish, they could have made it creamish, but anything but what it was.
Yep.
Some warm color would have fixed it. It actually would have done a whole lot, I think, for the suit. I mean, I would have fixed a couple other things that I mentioned previously, but the hair is, I think, the biggest offender to me. And just being in that colder color temperature. Otherwise, I think it's kind of a neat idea. I just wish it was better executed. Right? Like, like a punky, like, and it's just like, where's all these warms in the wrong place?
Yep.
Anywho. That the only recolor?
Nope. Up next is a ranked reward skin.
Whoa!
From the Grandmaster season. Grandmaster was the villain of the season, so it's a chess theme.
That's what I was thinking. It's like checkerboard chess. This one they kind of stuck with the color scheme though, because they made their hair black and white. They made the whole suit black and white. There's pretty much, except for that spot color of blue for the emblem. This is a black and white suit only. Mm-hmm. I do think it was a neat idea to gradient out the middle part of her suit, though, just to get a better balance between stuff. But I think her thighs are actually slightly brighter, it looks like sometimes, than the arms on the jacket, which might be like a subtle way of implying material, because the jacket is like this like heavier leather thing,
Uh-huh.
So instead of making it kind of feel like stickerish, like it was a sticker put on her jacket, using the value a little bit to imply like sheen or material. It could just be the way light is hitting the model too, but it kind of feels like it hits the thigh really brightly, and that makes it the spandex part feel like brighter and shinier compared to leather, which doesn't typically have a lot of shine to it, because like, you know, unless you polish it a lot, it gets kind of this dull matte kind of thing going on. It's like slightly shiny, but not like a whole lot. Not compared to spandex anyway. You know, like that stuff is more plasticky and it's shiny. But I like that they kept a lot of the light values with the checkerboard pattern on the outside. Mm-hmm. So when you're like zoomed out, so it kind of has like almost like this like cape of checkers on the side of her, right?
Yep.
Or like a shawl of checkers. And then they actually did pretty well too. Like the belt is white, so it's kind of cutting the values in the middle. They kept everything dark, so the belt still cuts the middle really nice, and it's not lost. Especially with adding that extra pattern of the checkers. And then they get down to the feet, and they, you know, they keep everything pretty dark, and then they do white boots. And they did kind of like with the jacket. The jacket's all checkerboard, but it has a lot of lighter values. They made the sleeve belt thingies lighter gray. Like you can tell it's not dark on black, so that when we get to her, like her hand coverings, like the little hand warmers, they're dark, so they stand out. It's a very good use of value. There's like some subtle use of color and like the brush stroking that they do, you know, but it's mostly in like purples and blues. I see it a lot in the hair because there's kind of like this gradient of purple to light blue.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like very subtly represented in the suit too, which is nice because it's not like a color of an object per se, but it's just like enough to give a little bit of interest to a lot of the outfit. Give it so it's not like sitting super flat and monochromatic. Very nice. I just also noticed that I didn't notice it before, but like the top of her suit has this little like T-shaped thing. I don't know if that's on her base design, but it probably is, and I just missed it.
I think it is.
But I do like that it's kind of...
Oh yeah, it's part the shaft is yellow, but the
balls
handles. I wasn't gonna go there. The handlebars are gray.
See, I would be like, it's like a T and it's the stem.
What does it look like on this skin? Shaft is red, handlebars are...
Shaft.
It's a shaft!
It's a stem! Although, if it is a shaft, I guess you'd want handlebars. So you have something to hold on to. Anywho, the stem. I do like that, the way that they've chosen to highlight it, because it makes a cool shape. It's like letter T.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, the other one is just, like, following her collarbone, so, like, it's blended in. But since they have all that white, and they turn the collar into one color, too, it's a nice separation. Yeah, this is a cool skin. Are you working on getting it, right?
I already got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a ranked reward skin. It's not available anymore. I've gotten probably 2/3 of the ranked reward skins. Some seasons I just don't bother getting to gold. But there is one more recolor. You know what it is.
Oh, no. Run away! Run away! No! No.
Is this one that bad?
It could be better. It could be worse, though. This one, I think it would be nice if they could have gotten a little bit of a darker purple, but they did keep it in the places that it should be kept. So we do kind of have, like, this very neon, you know, like this, all the cyan on the belt is like this big heavy color, like the jewelry pops. Because I just now notice that she has giant hoop earrings.
What color are those in her other skins? Hang on. Silver. Silver. Silver.
And then you got like highlighted the letter T and like little rivets and stuff are all cyan. Which those are small enough that if you're going to have something big, really bright, you know, if you could make it smaller, then you could balance stuff out. Also, her eyes got turned cyan, I think.
Yep.
They were green before.
Yep.
So,
I think the X in the X-Men thing being white is the wrong call. I don't think that works with the cyan background.
So I thought it made this impression that it's kind of glowing. But, you know, we kind of like... They did actually really pretty good. This is... I mean, I'm not like a fan of the color scheme, but if I was trying to use it, this is a pretty good use of it, because like they kept all the warm colors in the middle too. So you have like the magenta stripe in the middle and the thighs, and then there's like a little bit of magenta color in like the sleeves of the jacket. Not like a lot, but it's like a little warmer. And then it's like this warm lavender on the boots for the laces. So I will put this one in pretty good. If we were doing like a ranked Galacta skins from good to bad, this one passes the bar.
We probably will do that video.
I need you to like just screenshot all of them, and then I will just like rank them.
Yeah.
On like a tier list of best to worst Galacta skins. Then only the Galacta skins.
Yep.
Because the other one would take way too long. They also made her hair, if you notice, warm white, so it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
This is making me start to notice that there's a bunch of flyaways in it too. Like there's orange and like a light stripe of white and some other stuff going on in there. The orange flyaways look really nice on this outfit in particular. It's a nice warm contrast. But yeah, this one would be fun. If purple was like a fun color and you wanted to play as a purple character, this was actually pretty good.
Oh, Dai is in love with this skin.
Yeah, this one's done well though. I have to soften my opinion because I actually like blacklight style color palettes, and this almost hits that. I just get so angry because usually the values are really like shitty.
Yeah.
Or like the cyan is overused, and this is like they didn't overuse the cyan. It's exactly where it should be as far as catching your attention and popping parts of the character design out. Because usually in some of the bad skins, it's like, oh, let's give them a cyan, like, I don't know, jacket or boots or something, or like, and it's just like, nah. Because cyan is such a high saturation color. It's really bright, and so it's one of those ones where if you use it on one whole section, it's like almost like using bright white. It's so saturated, so bright. I think the only colors that kind of compete with it are maybe like neon yellow and neon green. But anyhow,
All right. Anything else to say about Galacta?
Nope.
Okay, she's got a grand total of 4 non-recolor skins, so this will be relatively quick. We're gonna start with her wedding dress skin.
You missed the wedding?
Yeah, it was part of a gotcha. It was part of a gotcha giveaway. So I'm going to show you the image preview. There's no demonstration video on rival skins for some reason. And then I'll show you...
Everybody missed the wedding? Oh my gosh.
Isn't that terrible?
It looks like she got left at the altar, tore off half her skirt, and is about to throw down. Is it like a giant corsage on her tit?
Yep.
It would have been a lot funnier if she was holding a bouquet in her fist. Like she was going to smash somebody with it.
Yeah. I looked for a good turnaround video of her in this skin, and I couldn't find one. So this is as good as you're going to get.
Wow.
This skin actually got patched to show less of her panties.
Yeah. This is so weird for me to look at. Because, like, if I was thinking, like, okay, at least the person I know of for this character, like, if she was going to get married, she would be like, I want to do it in the sweetest, most traditional way possible.
Yeah, Southern Belle, right?
Yeah. Like, she'd be like... You know, in like one of those like super pretty glitzy dresses where like it's like the very like swan-like elegance, like lots of curves and like big hoofs, long veil, you know.
Yeah, her wedding's going to be bombastic, but it's going to be a bombastic version of a traditional Southern wedding.
Yeah, and like she has long hair, so I don't know why they went with this like is her hair tied up or something?
It is, yeah.
Because I'm thinking like her hair would be like flowing, and maybe some of it would be in the front of her or something, you know, because she's trying to look pretty, you know, like, yeah, she has a very like blunt approach to life, but if she was given the chance to just be a normal person and be like the sweetest little thing, then you know she would. So this is like very odd.
Yeah, that is actually an aspect of her character. If she could give up her powers and just be a normal woman, she would do it in a heartbeat.
And like to be like when a bride is planning their wedding, they're planning it to be like, this is my day and I want it to be very special to me. So like this dress also kind of to me screams like ice skater.
Yeah,
because it has like that asymmetrical gold thing going on. There's one silver tit for some reason, and then like the white, and then, like it's super short too. And then like gold shoes, and like I don't know, like I could see playing around with the colors to be a bit more like her costume, because she has like kind of cold and warm in her costume, and just to make it feel like her.
This feels like a Luna Snow wedding dress in the wrong colors.
Yeah, maybe so.
I can see Luna wearing this on her wedding day.
Yeah, but her character is like very like pop star idol.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can see us playing around with the designs. Like you can do different trains, you can do different like things. If they wanted to keep it short because she is all legs, like they could have done like a big long side train, like a side skirt kind of thing that's just longer, so you can still see her legs. Because maybe that's what they were worried about. Because like her base design is like a lot of leg. But and it might have been kind of cute if they were doing something with they bring maybe some of Gambit's character to the dress too, because they're getting married together. Mm-hmm. So like he has like the card thing, or maybe like the fire thing. So they could have done like maybe there's a fire motif on her dress to kind of represent aspects of him, and then when they do whatever his outfit is, which I haven't seen,
you'll see it in a minute.
And like maybe like his would be like more like what her things are. Maybe it's like a little more flowery or sweet, or something that would feel her. But yeah, this is to me is like a huge miss. Like it's actually hard for me to sit here and try to find something appealing about it, because all I could see is just muscle and like vacuum formed orbular silver tit. Yep. And a big bulge on her other tit of the flower. Like that's huge. What the hell is with the giant corsage?
Yep.
This is like prom, not wedding.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. I'm just like, there's like 100 different ways to have designed something a lot better than this. And like, even if I wasn't judging it on a wedding outfit, that's kind of bad even as a regular dress. Like, I want to kind of love it, but the silver stripe here is just, it's creating a really weird shape to me. Because there's like the big corsage, but then there's like the bulge of her boob, the bulge of her rib, and then another swoop on her hip, and then another swoop to make kind of the teardrop shape, if that makes sense. So the whole shape is, usually these kind of asymmetrical dresses, what they try to do is make this like really like pleasing curve. And this one just kind of goes blah, 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 blah. At least to me, like, because the other side of the line is very straight almost, if you can see it. So it's kind of like this almost straight curve, and then like a series of, if you include her boob, 4 curves on the other side. And I'm just thinking, like, there's not a lot of sense in that, to me, at least. It doesn't create a very pleasing shape. Because usually if you're trying to break up the shape of the body in, like, an asymmetrical way like that, you're trying to cut a interesting or pleasing shape that's going to be, something interesting to look at. I always go when I go harsh on these ones, though, and I'm like, am I being too harsh?
No, I think this one's just terrible.
Yeah, but this one I don't like. Especially when I think of her as, like, the character. Because, like, what was it? Fantastic Woman.
Invisible Woman?
Invisible Woman. Like, her wedding thing, she has a wedding one. Hers is really pretty.
Yeah.
What did they do to her? What did she do to them that they gave her such a terrible wedding dress?
I know.
And, like, there's a way to do short dresses, too, like, that could have still been very elegant and pretty, you know? Like, if they didn't want to do, because they want to show the legs. Because they like to keep the silhouettes of the characters sometimes when they do different skins, so that you don't get confused about who they are. But if they just cut the gold off and kept, like, just the white part of the dress, and kept that as the whole thing, you know? Like, this really, like, fluffy, light, pretty white dress, and then maybe did, like, some cute little decals in the top of the outfit that are smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, more reserved. I would have given her some shoulder straps at least, you know? Just to go, especially 80s poofy. Like, have you seen 80s, like, wedding dresses? Like, they have, like, these huge arm poofs, like a medieval princess.
Yep.
Oh, that would have been so cute. Someone needs to help her. And, like, I would have been really tempted to, like, use the length of her hair to give her a long veil. And just, like, make her, like, really, really cute. But, yeah, this is a huge miss, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the consensus is, did anyone else like it, or is it just me?
Well, I don't know how well it sold. It was part of the gotcha thing, and people can't resist the gotcha.
Yeah. I was just thinking less of how it sold and more of, like, how did people perceive it visually.
Well, I don't know, like, the discussion of it very much. All I know is that I don't think I've ever seen it in a match.
Yeah, but if it was cute, I bet you would have.
Yep.
Oh, well, too late now.
All right. Let's save the MVP for when we do the MVPs. So up next is her launch shop skin, Savage Land Rogue.
Ooh. That's a one almost bare naked lady.
I don't know how her costume is, the green part of her top is holding together underneath the yellow.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Lots of people's thoughts and prayers are working against it.
Yeah, it kind of looks almost like one of those, like, push-up bra things that you can put, like, you wear it underneath stuff and it's supposed to prop up the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, she had a shirt on over that, and that shirt all, like, tore up, and it's just like, whatever, it's Savage Lands. It's a tits out kind of day. So, yeah, I think they're, like, two separate garments, and, like, the overshirt is, like, done with life. The colors are really nice, though. I like this mix of, like, kind of darker greens and lime greens and yellow greens to kind of go with the yellow. And then we have, like, some blue. Like there's a feather, there's stuff on her arms and her wrists and her necklace.
That's like Galactus cyan.
Yeah, it's, like, really, really bright. I don't think they needed to go that bright, but it does give it, like, a metallic iridescent kind of quality to it. And it's, like, very bright and playful. Definitely not the color I would have went for if I was going for, like, a realistic, like, apocalyptic kind of thing. But if I'm going for more, like, of a fun, poppy thing.
Yeah, this is not apocalyptic. This is trapped in the Savage Land, which is a lush area in Antarctica full of dinosaurs.
Oh, so it's Journey to the Center of the Earth, essentially.
A little bit. I think it's in Antarctica anyway.
She has, like, teeth necklace. I'm really enjoying, like, some of this mix of, like, the lime greens and the blues, because, like, I see the, like, the vibrancy of her headband with the, like, iridescent, like, peacock feather almost, tropical bird feather.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's, like, the greens on her wrappings are very, like, plant-like, and they're probably supposed to be, like, leaves or wrappings or vines, just by the texture, you know? But, like, it feels really nice, color-wise. Good thing she wore a green push-up to match the whole aesthetic when she got lost in the wilds. Thank goodness, that would be like a color mismatch. And there's a little bit of asymmetry too, like we have like the big belt buckle and then the satchel on the other side, and then we have like the open boob and then like the covered one, but the covered one has like the X-Men logo on the nipple for some reason. You know, if this shirt was complete, she'd have 2 X-Men logos on the nipples, right?
No, I think this is based on like an actual Rogue design where she only had one on the left tit. Those listening at home, I just reflexively slapped my own left tit while I was demonstrating that.
Yeah, in case they forget my left or right, which is just a thing I do. So, you know, 'cause usually they use shirt logos on like polo shirts and stuff, but usually that's even a little higher. So it's just kind of funny that it's just like right on the nipple.
Yep, it's suggestive.
I also like how they did the white part of her hair too, like it's swept over. You know, and they put a lot more of it. Mm-hmm. So you get like this two-tone thing going on. Let's see what they do with their like boots or feet or whatever. Oh, she got fur.
It's the same. It's the same type of fabric fluff as Penny's ogre skin.
I was thinking it's kind of similar to some of the other like fur textures they used for like collars and things. But it's also like similar to her hair color, and it's pretty. One thing I'm kind of noticing is kind of neat though is I think they use a warmer white at the top and then let it be colder at the bottom. You see how like the tops are warm and the bottom, like under shadow, is a cold white.
Yeah,
that's a pretty nice play of color. Also makes it so that the warm white doesn't just totally, you know, conflict with her hair, which I think she also has the same transition. The tops of her hair, it's got a lot of warmth in it, and the bottom has a lot of cold. They really like playing with her hair color in this too. It's got a lot of layers. Like there's like some dark, there's some reddish, there's some grayish. It's got a lot of like gradients in it. Kind of pretty, which honestly I don't think is a bad choice because a lot of her outfits so far have been like very one color, you know? Like, you know, it's yellow, it's green, it's, you know, one flat color. So adding some variety in her hair with all those gradients, I think is a great way to like give the design some more interest. Also, her whole texture just flashed there for a second on the lower half. I don't know if you saw that.
I did not see that. I was looking at her hair instead of her considerable assets.
Like the whole pouch and clothing there just did this white flash thing, and I was just like, huh? They were trying to phase out of existence. Her outfit is holding on by literal threads. I also like the little patches on the satchel to kind of give it like this kind of asymmetrical, put together by hand look. Because otherwise it's pretty much the same shape as a regular a regular satchel with, you know, like the angled flap. But adding that extra layer on top gives it that kind of rugged, made by hand look.
Oh, she's got more Galacta jewels in her belt.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, the blue is used pretty well throughout the whole outfit. It's actually, I think, maybe literally glowing. I'm not sure. But it is definitely very bright. I think the only reason it works is the same way it works for the Galacta skin, is that less is more. So if you're going to have something that bright, you can't use it everywhere. So, like, they use it, like, a little bit, like, a lot in the necklace and the armband. I think it's toned down for the bracelets, and it's very small on the belt, and then probably a little bit paler, as in, like, it has more white in it. So that you kind of have this whole build up to the top of the head. Although that iridescent feathered color is delicious. Iridescent is so fun to paint because you are kind of messing with like it's duller like and darker blue and stuff, and then you get to go higher in saturation and it just pops out so shiny. It's really satisfying. I think it's like the trick when you're trying to do like stuff like these colors to make them look bright, is that you have to use a dull or dark color before you go saturated. So like all those jewels are set on like a really dark background. Even the parts that are shiny, if you look at the dark part of the shiny pit, the part of him, it's really dull. Like almost like there's a part of this blue here on her arm bracelet that's almost gray.
Mm-hmm.
It's not completely devoid of color, but it's like you go really dull because by contrast, the other colors will look shinier and brighter. That's why, like, even though like the green of her arm looks really like vivid, it's not neon vivid because there's not like a punch of like really dull colors next to each other. That's also like why the neon green here on her other arm wrapping doesn't look vibrant like the blue does, because it doesn't have that pop of punch being next to a very dull color or dark color. It's all contrast.
Mm-hmm.
That's even like these little gems down here when she stops moving and stretching. Oh, she was going to go back. There we go. And you see it's like a really dark blue in the middle, and the rest of it's really bright cyan.
Yep.
And that's how you paint. And there's like a whole other complexity of light too. Like light falls off sometimes. So like if there's like dust or like smoke, it'll change colors. Underwater is really interesting to look at for color because like the red spectrum is like the first one to drop off. So a lot of bright red fish are only bright red because they don't appear red when they're like, 30, 50 feet underwater. Mm-hmm. Because the longest spectrum is blue, so blue penetrates the longest, but a lot of the other colors will start to fade out or fall off underwater. It's very cool. The deeper you go, anyway. And there's stuff in real life too, like reflected light or where your light source comes from that'll change how colors look or interact. But this one's really, really bright. I'm not gonna like judge the theme very harshly because the theme is obviously very silly to begin with. Because it's just like, it's basically like if we went to dinosaurs, ooga booga, and it's not any deeper than that. You can like dissect what that means in like a post-colonial society.
Yeah, there's a little bit of controversy about the newest Savage Land skin, which is Elsa Bloodstone, the British monster hunter. And her emote is banging on a drum.
Oh no.
Yeah. Hella got a pretty good one though.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So yeah, like sometimes when you're messing with older tropes, even if they're only from like the 80s or 90s, like you have to be a little conscious of some of that because of like we just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite games was like Spiral the Dragon, and I'm like, sometimes I'm just like such a young little innocent person that I'm just like, there's a level where they're like literally like bone in the nose natives, but I'm like a little innocent child, so I'm just like, I think they're monkeys, because who would be a horrible person like that and put like racial stereotypes in a dragon video game, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, the remake came out, and the remake, they just, like, retconned them into, like, monkeys or something, which I'm not even sure if it's even better, honestly. Because I'm just like, what are we actually saying here? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah. Like, it's kind of fun when you're just, like, a little innocent child, because you just don't see the racism, because you're just like, who would be that mean? Why would you do that? Mm-hmm. Horrible, horrible people. But I do like the colors in this one. I think overall it's pretty nice.
You know what I think is pretty nice?
Me?
Yes. You know what I think is second place pretty nice in this current context?
Okay.
She's got visible abs.
Oh, yeah, there are some
which
abs.
Is a rarity for women in this game.
It's really subtle, but it's there.
Yep. And I can't imagine we'll get another set of visible abs until Captain Marvel or shoot, there was somebody else I was just thinking of. But yeah. Savage Land Rogue.
Very cool. I like all like the torn clothing and stuff.
A lot of people are disappointed we didn't get a Savage Land Storm. And I am also disappointed for several reasons. First, that it would look cool. Second, that it would be incredibly hot.
All the important things.
Yep. if you've seen Storm's Savage Land costume from the comics, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I'd love to see a Marvel Rivals interpretation of it. Let's just say that. But yeah, Rogue was the first Savage Land skin. Anything else to say about this one?
I don't think so.
All right. So speaking of colonialism.
Howdy, partner. Yeehaw! Oh, that's gonna chafe.
This is kind of like pop stripper cowboy, but
It's something. She's doing some kind of work, but it ain't farm work. I'm just like fascinated by like how shaped the shoulders are, and they're tied together with like one knot, and I'm just thinking this is like the way she moves. I'm like, how is this top staying together? Like it should pop open at any second.
Yep.
Maybe that's kind of the point.
Yep. Titillation.
The little scarf with the X is cute though. I think that's kind of a fun little detail.
Mm-hmm.
Now I kind of want to wear an actual cowboy outfit though. I think she'd have fun instead of whatever this is.
Yeah, a couple of the male characters have cowboy outfits. Star-Lord's is incredibly slutty. Bucky's is like sci-fi cowboy, and it's fucking awesome. And then we've got Rogue.
With the short shorts.
Nice legs, Daisy Dukes, makes a man go bleep bloop.
I'm not sure I like the two-tone hair though.
Yeah, it's a little much on the white hair.
Yeah, like there's already so much going on in the jacket and stuff that I just don't feel like we need that much going on in the hair.
Also, why is she a redhead?
Daisy Dukes. I think it's also that the white doesn't really seem to like be. It's like all over. Apparently, the farm work has put under a lot of stress, and she's
the farm work she's not doing.
Yeah, I mean, have you had to take care of any robot horses lately? The economy's in shambles, Will. Because we kind of just have green, yellow, and a little bit of kind of a reddish orange. And a dark red a little bit on the ends of her arm. I keep going back and forth whether I like the shape of the jacket or not. Because, like, part of me thinks it makes, with the hat and the background, it makes her look like a literal star. You know, like the pointed arms of a star.
Uh-huh.
And another part of me is like, it feels so bulky, and then she has literally nothing else on. So we have this kind of very compact, bulky top in like the big boots and stuff, but then there's like nothing.
I think this outfit without the pauldrons would look awesome, and I think an outfit built around the pauldrons would look awesome, and I think mixing them together is not good.
Yeah, maybe also it's just like if it was trying to make a star shape out of her torso, it doesn't go far enough, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like with this kind of outfit, like softer fabric and stuff, I think would look a lot better. And if they want more of the harshness, because they do have like the robot horse, right? Like they had like slings for guns and stuff, like leather pieces you would wear over your shirt and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think this could have also been like the less you show, the better. Like if they did like a whole like cowboy shirt, but the shirt was like partially open. You know, like it popped open or whatever.
That like give her a button-down shirt with the top few buttons open.
Yeah, I think that would have been sexier, honestly, than this.
I agree. That would have been incredibly sexy.
And then they could have done
like she looks like a stripper, right?
Yeah, it looks like she belongs in Vegas, honestly.
Yeah.
Or definitely not fighting crime or doing farm work. And there's just like, I don't know. There's something about the colors on the top that are bothering me too, and I'm trying to identify what that is. It might be the brightness of the yellow, and it's like this double cape with the pauldrons, and we already have the yellow shape for the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be what it is. Because the middle, It looks like it's supposed to be like that Daisy Dukes, you know, like it's like tied the shirt Southern thing where like you lift your shirt up, you tie it under your boobs, and like it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But by adding the green jacket, instead of cutting off that shape, the same yellow merges with like the frill of the pauldrons, and that separates the shape into this kind of weird like cape, but it's not smooth, you know. So it goes up into a point and then goes over her shoulders.
Yep.
And so I feel like the colors, that makes them feel like one visual shape, and it's just not leading to a very pleasing design. I think if they had taken off the frill or just left the frill on the edges a bit more, so they weren't blending into the shirt so much. Oh, does that shirt have a collar? I just realized.
One sec.
It does.
It does. Do they normally? Does that kind of shirt normally have a collar?
I mean, I know you can do it with button-up shirts, but then it really begs up the question of where are the buttons?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is one maybe just a little bit too much of layering, and if you're going to layer, you got to think about like what's the overall rhythm or shape that these are building up to. Mm-hmm. Because like I think some of these pieces alone would have been really cute, but all of them together are a little bit weird. Also, like, I know sometimes they do this kind of show girl thing, but usually it's buckskin that has the frills that they do on, like, the showgirl outfits. I don't think they tend to go with pauldrons.
Yeah.
Like, or epaulets. Like, those are more of a military thing. You know, for, like, different kinds of outfits, so it's a little bit of mix and match. And it's kind of the only sci-fi element in the whole outfit, really.
Which is weird, because it's supposed to be sci-fi cowboys, like Star-Lord and Bucky skins. Like, it is literally Space Outlaws is the skin set.
Yeah. And I'm like, I think they could have gotten away with the Daisy Duke shorts, you know? Like, if they had maybe done full coverage for the top.
Yeah.
And then maybe they could have done, like some straps on the legs or something to kind of tie stuff together. I think it could be workshopped to be more interesting, for sure. And I know, like, the colors are kind of like her traditional outfit and stuff. But it does feel very top-heavy, because the green is kind of, like, stuck underneath everything.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish since the horse actually is a way cooler design than hers, like, I kind of wish they'd brought in some of the, like, the gunmetal dark of the horse, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what if she had a dark-colored cowboy hat and her regular color hair? And they could have done a thing, you know, like, where, like, the hat, like, tips over the eyes, you know, a little bit, or... Maybe she had an eye patch or something cool. Like, this one seems like this is the time to do something cool, not something pin-up girl.
Yeah.
And this is very pin-up girl, honestly. Like, I know they like to get, like, hot and saucy with it, but I feel like this just leans over to too much sauce. There's too much sauce. The dish is overwhelmed. So, yeah, I guess that's my opinion on that. Whereas, like I kind of like some of the softer golds, though. Like, if they kept it dusty or muted, you know, to go with, like, the rugged cowboy look. But that might not have matched with, like, the other stuff in the set.
Yeah.
But unless they put a boy in an outfit like this, I'm gonna call them on this one.
They did.
They did.
Yeah, Star-Lord's is incredibly slutty. If I'm remembering it correctly. But yeah, that's her Starlit. That's her Space Outlaw skin. Anything else to say about it?
Needs more plaid.
All right, one last skin. So the Devil Dinosaur and Cyclops season had to do with Alchemax bleeding into the modern day, and they had a bunch of clones of major heroes, including Rogue.
Now this is what they should have done with the cowboy outfit. The low cut on the waist. That is some 2000s era shit right there. If we could have invented pants that did that, people would have worn it. I swear to God.
What, below the belly button?
Well, look how the cuts lower. Like, remember, maybe you don't, because you didn't have to buy pants. Because this didn't happen to men. This happened to anyone with a vagina. Or wore girls' pants. What happened was they took the pants that wear at your waist, and they put them a little bit lower. And then they're like, no, that shit isn't hot enough. They put them down at your, like, pubic mound. They were so low. And then they were so wide at the edge of the pants. And, like, it didn't last for that long because they realized how ridiculous that was. But, my God, there was a lot of ass crack that you saw. Too much. I've seen too many people's ass cracks because of that. I hope one day we go back to, like, full-waisted pants as a trend, because, my God,
wear your pants hiked up to your belly button.
That's where it should be. That's where they used to be. In better times, when you didn't get flashed with random ass crack when someone crouched over.
I wear pants that are on my hips that don't flash ass crack. You're wearing grandpa pants.
Yeah. I'm old.
You're not even 40.
I'm old.
No. If you're old, I'm old.
The warranties are out. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that set me off. The fingies are kind of amazing. Like robot hands. That's really fun. She has like a Layla... Princess Leia thing going on. But I do like the way they've like done like the neck and Gorgot kind of thing going on. The earrings, the little details around the eye and stuff look really interesting. And like that like feels like future, makeup kind of fashion. Like it's very geometric, but it's really like delicate, like the delicate lines like makeup is.
Uh-huh.
It's very fun. I'm surprised they didn't keep more white in her hair, because they just kind of have it as like random spots in the front, giving it kind of like a bit of a toothpaste look. But it's really floofy. I still can't believe they went kind of with a tits out look for this, though.
Which is very funny because the skin set is called Corporate Raiders.
I don't know what they're doing in corporate, but I don't think HR would approve. There's a kind of fun, throw lines, too, with the cyan teal decals, because it kind of are making these, like, shapes, like an hourglass shape, or just on her front. But it's on her knees, and, too. There you go. On her knees and her shoes. Like, their arrows pointing up, so you kind of see, like, they're doing their stuff. Also, her legs her pants are transparent at the bottoms. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, but the effect works this time.
Yeah, the effect works this time. We were looking at one where the effects for that were very glitchy.
Yeah, Doctor Strange's summer skin.
Yeah, especially his, but a few other ones had it too. But yeah, this one looks like it's working properly, having this kind of like sheer, see-through. There's kind of fun shine on the other parts of it too. This is kind of giving me like Horizon Zero Dawn vibes, because some of the designs they do for future do this, and they're not the only ones, but they're just ones that come to mind. But like, as a society, we've gone through so many like fashion changes that I think a lot of the times when we try to imagine like what especially a severe future would look like, we tend to make their fashion really geometric. I think part of that is a little bit of Art Deco having its way with us, but I also think some of that is just that geometric shapes are very measured and, like precise, regular. So I feel like it's just like a nice shorthand to show like a society that's somehow more advanced than ours, because, they can apparently print see-through sleeves with triangles on them. And so because they can, they did. But yeah, this is really... Honestly, it makes no sense the way she has all of that skin exposed, but it looks really fun.
Mm-hmm. Like, this skin rules. If I played Rogue, I would use it.
Yeah, like, it also feels evil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they nailed that aspect of it, too.
Man, that was kind of funny is alchemists bleeding into the reality is that apparently they live in some kind of alchemex that has basically taken over everything. Which is like a fascinating idea. And hey, you get to play with that kind of stuff. That's the only thing where I kind of really enjoy Marvel's take so far on alternate realities is that, like, I always feel like a lot of other stories that bring it up, like, there's an alternate reality, but they're fucked. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing they can do about it because they already messed up, but we can save yours. And like a little part of me is like, but what about all the people in the other one?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, they do have some kind of fucked up realities, but those realities can be changed and matter just as much as like the realities that didn't experience those like tragedies, you know?
Yeah.
So there's like, I think Gwen is like a really good example of that. Of like in her reality, Peter's dead. Like he died, and he's like the person that she loved the most. But the things she does in her universe matter in that universe as much as what Peter does in the universes where he's alive. And I think that's a really novel approach, and I like that approach a lot more. And also, it really does give a lot of creative freedom for writing, too, because you can do a what if, and you're like, well, let's just make a new reality and go explore that idea. You know, and we don't have to really touch the kind of like the main character, you know, and if we made something interesting as a what if, we can say, oh, okay, that actually does exist somewhere, and let's jump that reality into the main game, the main thing, and goof off.
Yeah.
So,
and the worst Marvel alternate universes are the ones where everything's fucked and you can't save anybody, and are just like super cynical and dark.
yeah.
Like the Spider-Man Reign future, where you want the tone of Reign. Here's the tone of Reign. Spider-Man killed MJ because all of his fluids are radioactive.
Jeez.
Including a specific fluid.
I always forget sometimes. I know I shouldn't, but I forget they get really fucking weird sometimes. Because you'll just like read a synopsis for something and you're like, they what now? Want to run that by me again? But like the one I think of, at least the only DC one I'm familiar with is the Bizarro World. Which only exists as a, what if the character was a counter opposite of what he is in the real world, you know? And I was like, yeah, kind of neat if they have to battle them as villains, but also boring as like a universe that exists.
Yeah.
But I think DC's approach is more like there's a main reality and the other ones are just like fractured, you know, like off realities. And so like they kind of matter in that they like support the whole structure of reality, but they also don't in that they are not the main one, I think. I'm not sure if that's how DC does it, but that's how it feels like when I've seen them do alternate realities. Which again is sort of like a more of a, what if you could go to an alternate reality and see a fucked up version of yourself? But anyway, off topic again. This one has a pretty reserved color palette. Like we just basically have gold and like a teal, which look really nice together. Kind of like this warm versus cold on a very, very neutral gray. But I think like the gold on the sleeves really pulls out some warm grays, and you know when they want it to be shiny, they make it a little more yellow. It's very nice. I like the cross straps across the middle. It's kind of like the X-Men.
Just gotta have an X somewhere.
But it does give a little bit of structure to like the middle of the non-existent shirt. So it does make things feel like they are like stuck together and exist together as an outfit, even though it's utterly ridiculous, but it looks really cool. Definitely great supervillain vibes.
She's got like 80s businesswoman shoulder pads too. Did you notice?
Oh, yep. I also feel like Like, this could be Rogue. Just, I don't know what it is that gives me the vibe, but just maybe, like, just, like, the go-getter attitude. Like, yes, if you took that sweet woman and plopped her into a corporate, you must, you know, thrive here environment, this is what would pop out. I don't know how to explain that, honestly.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot else that really says that this is the character. But I guess it's kind of like Olivia from Spider-Verse
Yeah.
versus Octavius. Like, they're like, yeah, if they shoved Octavius through, like, this is your scientific aunt who's also evil, then yeah, this was what would pop out.
She's my favorite version of Doc Ock. We're probably going to get one based on the movie Doc Ock, but the live action movie Doc Ock. But I personally want to see Olivia instead of Otto. That is one of the only strong opinions I have about Spider-Man villains. Yeah. Anything else to say about this one?
I don't think so.
Alrighty. That's her last skin, so let's look at the MVPs. Nope.
Was the last one? There's no more?
Yeah, she hasn't gotten... She's gotten some of the most skins out of the post-launch characters, but she still came out only like 6 months ago.
This MVP is really funny and cute because it's just like, most of them are like, pow, pow, pow. She's just like, ha ha, I'm having a good time. Whee! Whee! I did it! And I'm like, this is fun. Mm-hmm. This is like a really great, it's kind of funny because like most of them do get really actiony, but I really like this one. Like, she is exuberance. Yes. Yes, she is.
That's Rogue.
I like little additional, like, there's like the special effects that rotates around her too in this animation.
Yeah, that's part of the Rivals lore is she's got chronovium powers, which is the element that's fucking up the time stream. And it manifests as those, like, prism polygon shapes.
Oh. And she just has like sweet little sparkles as she like blinks at you.
Yeah.
Well, fun.
All right. Up next, we have the wedding MVP.
Oh yeah, I forgot her. Now that I can see her hair, it's even more horrible.
Why is he proposing when they're already in their wedding outfits? See, Gambit would wear that to his wedding.
Uh-huh. Well, that's cute. Now you can have spring landscape.
But yeah, that's the wedding MVP. All right.
I still stand by. I think her outfit should have been better.
Yeah, agreed.
His is really pretty nice.
Yeah, like Gambit would wear that to his own wedding.
Yeah. Can you imagine if they put her in like sea foam or something as a color, like a light, really pastel sea foam dress to match her kind of green yellow thing she got going?
Yeah.
That would be so cute. And I think they should have let her hair down, but just make it fancy. Like, she usually has it like all curly. What if they made it like extra curly? Like, I feel like it should have been, like you said, like Southern Belle. Like, it's over the top. Like, you know, like extra curled, extra fluffy, extra ruffles.
Mm-hmm.
Extra fluffles is what I was trying to say a second ago. Huge missed opportunity. Like, she needs to look like Precious.
All right. So up next is Savage Land.
Bud. Has a nice punchiness to it. One of those nice transitions, which, like, I think some of the other ones we've watched lately have had weird transitions sometimes, but I like the ones where they're just, like, pretty much in line with what is there, and then you get, like, the cool illustrated background.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyhow.
All right. Cowboy.
Is that an Ultron robot?
Nope, just a general robot, I guess.
Oh. What were they trying to rustle? She didn't seem to have any cattle.
You wouldn't believe the kind of milk you get out of robot cows.
They're solar powered. I'm still, like, trying to, like, come to terms with this outfit, honestly. Like, there's just something about it.
Yeah.
In any case.
It's, yeah.
I think it's just because it has the ruffles, like it wants to be a buckskin, but it's not. And I'm like, it actually would have been, like, neat if it was, like, a buckskin or something.
Yeah.
Just, like, just go all the way. Like, do it!
And the pauldrons are the only sci-fi thing about this costume. So it doesn't communicate the theme very well. It just looks dumb.
What if she had robot legs?
That would be cool. Bunny rabbit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, that's what I want. It worked before, we can do it again.
All right, and finally, Evil Rogue.
Let's be fair, she didn't deflect that second one. She just set up the first one so it would make a cool explosion for the photograph. Although some of that shot feels very more like it would fit good for Captain Marvel. But it's still very cool.
What it actually is she shares your opinion of Galactus' color scheme and is fighting the missiles to destroy them.
It's too late for her. She already got Galactus skinned. She's just trying to save the others.
I choose to believe now that that's how it happens. You get hit with one of these missiles and you get turned into a Galacta Herald.
Fun. I like the little bits of exploding, like, debris in the end credit. Also, now part of me starting to look at the background, being like, is there lore? Like that one we were watching for, I think it was mine, was Spider-Man skin. It had, like, Jameson, like, ads and stuff in the background.
Yeah.
But they've done a lot of cool stuff with putting, like, a hub world that feels, like, full of Marvel lived-in, like, stuff in it. It's just full of stuff. You know what cool stuff is?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we finish all these characters, we should do a walk around the town and talk about what's in the hub world.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
They might have expanded it by the time we're done.
Well, they just added a second zone.
Oh, there's just a car parked there too. In this end shot.
Yep.
Alrighty.
But yeah, they just added a beach hub zone in addition to the Times Square one. So yeah, once we finish all the characters, I'll take you through them.
It's like finally a place to wear the beach outfits.
All right, so what's your favorite MVP?
Well, let's see. We only got like 4.
Well, she's got the default +4 because she's got the wedding one.
Oh yeah, the wedding one. What's the Savage World one again? I think I like that one a lot. Like the Alchemix one is really good too. But I do kind of like this one for like, it really does feel like I win kind of animation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that one.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
Is that also your favorite costume?
No. Because
I know which one.
Get out of here. Get him. Get him. Get him. Why is it still on my screen? I actually think I like her default the most.
Oh, just like Penny.
Only just because I really like her default costume quite a lot.
Yeah, they really nailed the classic Rogue.
And I like how, like, it does have that mix of, like, yes, she's a sweet little girl, but she's also, like, pretty, like, rough and tumble and casual and blunt, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't get that a lot in characters. And there's a lot of fun play in the other skins, but the other skins either take her to, like, she's more refined, she's more pretty, she's more pin-up Vegas. Mm-hmm. And this is, like, the one that I feel like gets, like, the kind of roughness around the edges look really good. I'd actually I hope that they get more of that rough around the edges look to some of her future skins, because I think it's getting left on the table a little bit. Mm-hmm. In most of them, except for maybe, like, the Savage World skin. But, like the brown leather, like, you know, like, I want some scuffs on her. She has, like, band-aids or bruises or, you know, like, or, you know, like, something, right? Like, her gear is worn out from use. Like, there's like a little tear in her belt, actually, I think, when she's stretched there. It's behind the buckle. Wavy thing. Because they keep putting a wavy thing on there as, like, a scarf. See it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like she does the work. And she has a cool outfit. And, you know, like, this feels very classic and comfortable in 80s. And so I do kind of want to see some more of that, like rough and tumble. Like, we grabbed her off the street. She's real sweet and nice, but she'll tell you blunt that if your outfit looks terrible, you know, like. But also she'll invite you to, like, the get together, you know.
Yep.
And all the holidays and Christmas, and make sure you're taken care of. And I know, this is what makes her such a fun character, I think. Even despite, like, her power set, just her personality is really fun. And, like, honestly, X-Men had such a great roster of women of all kinds that you don't see a lot in a lot of other superhero franchises. Because, like, you know, we got, like very reserved women, we have anxious women, we have, like, rough and tumble women, we have, you know, people who are, like, outgoing, reserved, and, like, you know, I think you kind of get the same thing with the men's, like, a long range. But, you know, they do have a long cast, but it's like there was a really nice balance of different personality types. Not always perfect by any means, because it's comics, for crying out loud, but you know, a lot more interesting than most, because, you know, even going back in the history of some other comics, like, it took a long time before they let their women in the comic series have some agency. You know, like, Spider-Man, like, most of the women's point in those early things are to be the love interest or be in peril, you know?
Yep.
And, you know, so it takes a while. And, like, and some people have done some amazing retcons to these characters. Like, I always think, like, Lois Lane is more to be, like, a nag or to try to, like, figure out what's wrong with Superman or whatever. They turn her into, like, a very intelligent, investigative woman in, like, later editions.
We should watch My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah, we should. I watched some episodes of it, I think, but I haven't finished it.
I haven't watched any. I've just seen a few clips and heard that it's really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
And I've seen that design for Lois, and it is the hottest she's ever been.
But this is A+ design. I think it looks really fun. I like the posing and the weight of the character, like, just the way she sits and stuff. Like, this is a heavy hitter character.
Mm-hmm.
What is her playstyle?
She's a tank. Her big gimmick is that she's got a move that has a long cooldown, but that she can grab somebody and steal one of their powers. Every character has a specific power they steal, or if they don't have superpowers themselves, she gets nothing.
That's actually kind of funny. They'll be like an anti-rogue team, everybody with no superpowers.
Yeah. She still stuns you when she grabs you and drains you and deals a little bit of damage, but annoyingly, she's vulnerable, but her target isn't. Which I guess is from game balance. Like, she could just grab somebody and everybody pour damage into the poor sap and they'd be dead. But Yeah, no, it's...
No, they have to do it the comic book way. Everyone else is supposed to be on the back going, Rogue, do it! You're going to save us, Rogue! You know, you're the only one who can stop their powers! You know?
Yeah.
They're just supposed to stand around and add dialogue, okay? They're not supposed to, like, wail on the big bad, because, you know, what if they mess up and Rogue gets distracted and then, like, they're like, you know?
Amusingly, what she gets from Squirrel Girl is the 30-foot vertical leap.
I'm trying to wonder if she still does the screaming though, just like ah!
She has specific lines for every character's power that she steals, including Jeff's, where she sprays out bubbles. She goes, blah.
Amazing.
In fact, I might be able to show that to you real quick.
Amazing. No notes.
Don't look.
Don't look. But you're so beautiful.
Practice range.
Maybe we should just do the Squirrel Girl episode next, so you don't have to tell me not to look every time.
Yeah, we could do that.
Because it's only like the character you play the most.
Where's Rogue? There's Rogue. Rogue.
Even when Remy ain't by my side, he's always in my heart and in my fists. Well, fancy
okay.
seeing you here.
Let's see. Jeff. Where is Jeff? There is Jeff. Confirm.
Oh my gosh, this game.
She must have had fun doing the Jeff noises. All right. So yeah, that'll be Rogue. Look away again.
I was like, is he being held there by little, like, venom tentacles?
That's one of his team-ups.
Oh.
All right, so that's Rogue.
And one of his team-ups is worms.
Next up, we'll be doing either Scarlet Witch, who's got a fuckload of good costumes, or Squirrel Girl, my favorite character in the game.
Oh, so we're almost there. We could wait.
Yeah.
We'll do Spider-Man again.
Again? But he hasn't gotten any more costumes aside from the swimsuit one, which we already did.
I love him.
All right, so that'll be it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. And I will see you next time.
Bye.